Your back is an incredible piece of engineering, but like any piece of equipment, it needs to be properly cared for if it's to perform without problems. With a car, for example, we all accept that it needs to be maintained in a good condition, and that it will serve us a lot longer if we use it with a little care. Ignoring these basic principles of safety can end in disaster. Many back problems stem from a lack of exercise and poor posture. Many of us have lifestyles that stress our backs and which provide few opportunities to maintain controlling muscle groups and joints. It's hardly surprising that back pain is one of the most common ailments. But it doesn't have to be like this. Prevention is better than cure, and in this program we're going to explore a range of practical tips that can help to improve your posture during daily routines and some simple exercises that you can use to keep your back in action. Good postures are those that minimize the forces acting on the back. From the side, this involves maintaining the 3 natural curves, and from the rear or front, the spine should be upright. So let's begin by considering some tips that will help improve your posture during routine daily activities. We all spend a large part of the day like this, sitting, and it's easy to slouch so that we lose our natural curves and the back forms a large C. When we lean forward, the weight of our upper body adds to the stress, as does bending to one side, maybe whilst we're reading. With office seating, sit upright, adjust the seat height so that you're in a comfortable working position. Sit with your back firmly against the support. Adjust the backrest so that it supports you in this position. Your forearms should be level when your hands are on the keyboard. Your feet need to be comfortably on the floor. If they're not, you may need a footrest. Move whatever you are reading or working on towards you so that you do not have to lean forwards or sideways. The same applies to sideways leaning. Pull whatever you are reading or working on in front of you. The same adjustments apply to car seating. If you are too far away from the steering wheel, you'll end up slouching. Move forward to a comfortable position and adjust the backrest so it supports you in a reasonably upright position. It's important that your headrest is level with the back of your head. If it's too low, it won't support your neck during rear-end collisions. These type of whiplash injuries are extremely common. It goes without saying that if you're in a vehicle, then wearing your seatbelt is a must. Many chairs don't adjust, but you can usually get into an upright position where your back is supported. Whatever your task, try to make the chair do the work by getting support for your low back. Watch out for domestic sofas. Many provide poor support and force you into the slouched C position. Remember that you may not always be aware of the damage this is doing. If this is a problem, try putting cushions in the small of your back to provide some support. Sitting can be a stressful activity for your back. Use any adjustments on seating and always try to keep the arch in your low back. However good the seat and posture, it's always best to break long periods of sitting, even if it's just for a quick stretch. We spend approximately 1/3 of our entire lives lying down, and depending on what we sleep on, it can be very stressful for our back. During sleep, our muscles relax so that we are completely dependent upon the support provided by the bed. If you wake up with backache, it may be due to what you're lying on. If the mattress sags along its entire length, your back will bend with it. Alternatively, if the bed is too hard, it will not accommodate the contour of your body, and again your back will sag. It's a common misconception that beds need to be hard. The bed for you is the one that does not bend along its entire length when you sit on it, and which feels firmly springy. To assess your bed, lie on your side and ask your partner or a friend to observe the posture of your back. It should form a straight line. You should have sufficient pillows to keep your head in line with your back. If the bed sags, then try experimenting by placing the mattress on the floor for a few nights. If this feels more comfortable, you could try inserting a board in between the mattress and the base. Alternatively, if the bed feels too hard, try putting 3 or 4 soft blankets on top of the mattress to provide additional cushioning. The only rule about sleeping positions is to try and avoid sleeping face down, since this allows the spine to sag and overarch. For most people, lying on your back or in some position on your side is the most comfortable. Whatever your bed and sleeping position, be aware that many back strains occur in the first 15 minutes of getting out of bed. You can reduce the risk by performing this simple stretch exercise a few times before getting up. Avoid getting out of bed with sudden movements that jerk you upright. Try getting up like this. If you use your legs to help lever you up, you'll find you can move more smoothly. What you lie on and how you lie can make what should be a rest a stressful time for your back. Assess your bed and evaluate whether it's right for you. Many activities during our daily routine involve standing still, sometimes for long periods. These upright but static postures can be stressful unless we follow a few basic tips. When standing still for significant periods, our controlling muscles can tire. If this happens, the spine sags and the lower back overarches, causing pain. It's always best to try and break static postures as often as possible with some movement. A quick stretch on a regular basis can make all the difference. When working in a standing position, it's important to avoid bending forwards or sideways. Stand upright and, if you can, adjust the height of what you're working on to make this convenient. Once upright, it will also help if you can place one foot on any stable raised surface. This will rotate your pelvis backwards and prevent your low back from overarching. These simple adjustments to your posture take a few seconds, but can provide very significant protection to your back. If you've got to reach for something that's below waist height, especially if you've got to hold this position for some time, then remember to avoid stooping over like this. Bend your knees, not your back. Always try to keep your back in an upright posture by making your powerful leg muscles do the work. Sometimes it's difficult to avoid reaching over at the waist because of obstructions. If you can't avoid bending forwards, support the weight of your upper body with one of your arms. Place your hand on any convenient surface where it won't slip and lock your arm straight. When lifting and carrying, whether at home or at work, remember that the load you are moving increases significantly the stress on your back. The best way to move a load is not to lift at all, maybe using any mechanical aid or by pushing. If you have to lift, avoid bending over at the waist and stretching to reach the load. Get as close to what you are lifting as possible. Bend your knees, not your back, and move your feet so you don't twist at the waist. In the real world, there are often obstacles, so always plan the lift and move anything that might make it easier to perform. If you can't get close to the load, pull the object towards you before lifting. Remember that you do a lot of lifting and carrying outside the workplace, and that the same principles are just as important here. Don't lift unless you have to. Keep close to what you're lifting, and avoid bending over by using your powerful leg muscles. Your posture whilst up and about is very important, especially when standing still for long periods and moving loads. Don't lift unless you have to. Keep an eye on your posture and treat your back with a regular stretch. To improve the general health of your back, you can do simple things like walking and swimming. To make a difference, you've really got to get your heart and circulation going and exercise frequently, at least 3 or 4 times weekly. Your back would also benefit if you could combine this general activity with some simple maintenance exercises that improve the mobility of joints and strength of controlling muscles. These can be done anywhere, but it helps if you have a soft padded surface like a carpet. There is no set number of repetitions for each exercise, but if you can perform each one around 10 times on a daily basis, you'll really feel the benefits.
These exercises have been designed to be extremely safe, and anyone can undertake them. However, if someone is currently suffering back problems, or if there's any discomfort during exercising, it's important to seek professional guidance before beginning. If undertaken regularly, and for as little as 10 minutes a day, these exercises can make a dramatic difference to the health of your back. Think of it as an investment for a pain-free future.
Exercise 1 develops the strength of your stomach muscles and helps to mobilize your lower back. Lie on your back with your legs flat against the floor. Pull one foot along the floor. Clasp your knee and pull it slowly and smoothly towards your chest until you feel a gentle stretch in your low back. Don't overstretch. Hold this position for a second and then relax. Make sure the leg on the floor does not lift up. Repeat the exercise for your other leg. Exercise 2 develops the strength of the muscles you use to bend sideways. Lie on your side and slowly lift both legs about 10 centimeters off the floor and down again in one smooth action. Once you've repeated the exercise on one side, turn over and do the same on the other. Exercise 3 stretches your leg and back muscles. In a sitting position, lay your legs flat against the floor. Keep your legs and back straight. Lean slowly forwards until you feel a slight stretch in the back of your legs. Don't bounce or overstretch, and remember to keep your legs straight. Hold this position for a few seconds and then return to an upright posture. This exercise really helps to keep the hamstring muscles in your legs in shape. Exercise 4 develops your stomach muscles, which are very important to a healthy back. Lie with your back flat against the floor. Raise your knees upwards to 90 degrees. Place your hands by the side of your head and curl upwards in a slow and smooth movement. Only your head and shoulders should lift up. You should not sit fully up. Exercise 5 will improve the mobility of your hips and low back. Lie on your back and roll slowly and smoothly over at the waist until you feel your shoulders start to lift off the floor. Remember not to overstretch and to move smoothly. Repeat the action for both sides. Exercise 6 is an excellent general stretch for your back. Lie on your back, pull your feet along the floor to raise your knees to 90 degrees. Clasp your knees and pull towards your chest as far as you can comfortably go. Most people find this exercise very comforting, especially first thing in the morning or after a long day. Exercise 7 gently mobilizes the backward arching of your spine. Lie on your stomach and place your hands underneath your shoulders. Slowly and smoothly lift yourself upwards and then relax back down. This is not a push-up, so relax your back and let it sag. Remember not to come up any further than feels comfortable. Exercise 8 helps to strengthen your back muscles. Lie on your front and put your arms behind your back. Lift your shoulders slowly and smoothly off the floor a few centimeters and then lower yourself down again. This exercise really helps to counter the stress of daily routines. As you undertake these exercises, you can keep track of how well you're doing. Watch how your flexibility improves as you can comfortably stretch further, and how your muscle power improves as the number of repetitions you can do increases. You'll be amazed at how your personal limit improves after a short period. You don't need to be a sports fanatic to have a healthy back. Simply taking more walks would improve significantly our aerobic fitness. But we've also got to get exercise that builds muscle strength and keeps joints mobile. simple exercises that can be done at home and which take a few minutes a day is all that's required. It's a small price to pay for a healthy back. A large majority of back problems are self-inflicted. It's our daily routines that grind our backs through a stressful obstacle course and which rarely stretch the joints to the limit of their movement, which does the damage. Health and safety does not start and finish at work. To take proper care of your back, you must look at your entire daily routine and make sure you adopt good postures and get regular exercise. In this programme, we've seen a range of practical tips that, if used, will help you prevent back problems. But it's up to you. Only you have the power to keep your back in action.